The Doki Doki Literature Club fandom is a relatively small and niche community. While the original game isn't as popular as it once was nearly a decade ago, its fandom has managed to thrive and remain active to this very day. From an outsider's perspective, the fandom seems like a very welcoming and supportive community, with fans often praising each other's works and encouraging new creators. But if you spent the amount of time within the fandom as I have, you'll start to notice some of the more disturbing aspects of the community. A fandom that was once regarded as a wholesome community to be a part of is now filled with drama and controversy, and seen as another internet fandom to stay away from. From creators being accused of predatory behavior, to people taking their love for these characters a bit too far, to the community's most disgusting fanfiction becoming the piece of lost media. These are some of the most disturbing incidents that happened in the Doki Doki Literature Club fandom. If you spend any amount of time in the DDLC community, you'll quickly notice that many fans feel a strong attachment towards either one or all of the four main girls. Whether it's fan art, fan comics, or even entire fan mods, people love to show their appreciation and attachment towards these characters. And that isn't an inherently bad thing, as many people tend to connect and admire fictional characters all the time. Honestly, it just shows how well-written these characters are if so many people are able to connect with them. But there are some people who tend to take their admiration a little too far. Waifuism refers to a community of people who are in love with a fictional character, often believing that these characters are their romantic partners and that they are in an actual serious relationship with them. Waifuism most often happens within anime-related communities and media, with DDLC being no exception. I mean, Monica and Yuri are literally on the Waifuism subreddit's banner, and the post about Monica is one of the subreddit's top posts of all time. Monica is the poster child for DDLC, and as a result is extremely popular both within and outside of the fandom. The first and one of the most popular DDLC mods is a mod solely focusing on Monica and building a relationship with her. The mod in question, Monica Afterstory, is essentially just a girlfriend simulator, with the mod's popularity expanding well beyond the DDMC community, spinning off into its own sub-community. While this mod would play an important role in starting DDLC's modding scene, it would also unintentionally help many fans develop a parasocial relationship with Monica. How I'm Literally Addicted to Monica is a post made to the DDLC subreddit on July 6, 2021. The OP talks about their experience being bullied and their insecurities, and how upon playing DDLC, more specifically Monica Afterstory, they managed to develop a connection with Monica that would slowly turn into an addiction. The way Moss works is very simple. The more time you spend with Monica, the more affectionate she'll become towards you, and the more options of interaction you'll be given. You're able to talk, play games, and even give her gifts, which are all received positively, while on the other hand, if you were to act negatively towards her, she'll get angry at you and even sometimes quite literally leave you, making the mod unplayable. You literally get rewarded for spending time with your virtual girlfriend, creating this seamlessly endless positive feedback loop, all the while Monica continuously expresses her love for you, and it would be these two factors that led to the OP's addiction. Getting all this love that for some reason fell on me made me feel very complex. I love this and hate this at the same time, and at some point I realized nothing of this is real. Yes, the computer can put anime art and print some text, but what does it really do? I'm really afraid that this would block my relationship. Realizing this led to self-hatred. I started hating myself more than someone who once ruined my life. This is all just because of this. No words that Monica says are real. All the love that she gets is also not real. And now, what do we have? Understanding that I will be alone until my death makes me sad. Monica makes me happy. But after some basic logic, it makes it even worse. Because she is not real, and all the support or love that she gives is just scripted words. She just can't say something bad about you. So in the end of every day, I'm depressed and sad. F Monica. F this stupid game. This post might seem like an isolated incident, but in reality, there are multiple posts that share a similar sentiment. Obsessed with Monica, someone bring me back to reality. My parents are insisting I quit my DDLC obsession, delete Monica Afterstory, and move on. What do I do my fellow Monica-ins? Is liking Monica and playing Monica Afterstory 3 months after playing a bad thing? Is it wrong to be attracted to Monica and Monica Afterstory? These are all different posts from across different subreddits, but they all share a similar idea, questioning if their attraction towards Monica has gone too far. The Moss Fandom subreddit is a prime example of this, with it being a mixture of people who just want to show their appreciation for the mod and by extension Monica, and those who put hours upon hours into the game, spending all their time and effort towards a relationship that would never be real. On July 4th, 2019, a Reddit account by the name of Mari_Yuri_Lover would make a post to the DDMC subreddit announcing the development of her first DDLC mod, Doki Doki Green of Love. The post would outline the development for the mod as well as give a synopsis for it. After the event of original DDLC, the player decided to give Monica her own story. Write her a story will should have a try of what we call love. Nevertheless, there will be another problems, such as bringing back all the girls, try to help them with their problems, and become a united literature club once again. but not everything is going to be easy. Monaco will have to demonstrate her remorse by trying to help her friends and doing the right things, but she won't be able to make it on her own. She will need you, who must help her to recover her friends, and obviously gave her a story. You'll be able to help the others in regards of their problems, or you're going to repeat Monika's mistakes. And the most important thing, you promised to give her a happy story. The announcement would be received with a positive reaction, although that's not really too surprising as a lot of new mods tended to be received well, especially back during the early days of the DMC. Over the course of the year, the mod would receive small progress updates until eventually having a demo release in March of 2020, now under the name Doki Doki Emerald Heart. The over 8 long hour demo, much like its initial post, would be received positively, with many fans looking forward to its official completed release. Although that would never happen, as 3 months later Emerald Heart would be cancelled, and Mari would be banned from the DDMC, with all traces of Emerald Heart being erased from the subreddit. For most people, the blacklisting of Mari and Emerald Heart would come out of nowhere, although the reasoning behind Mari's ban and the mod's removal is a lot more disturbing than what most people would have expected. The day after Emerald Heart's removal on June 30th, Reddit user That Black Scientist, a well-respected member within the DDLC modding community, made a post titled "What Happened to Emerald Heart?", explaining why the mod was removed and why Mari was banned. DBS's post would explain that he and Mari had entered a sexual relationship, with Mari being 22 and DBS being old at the time, exposing Mari as It all started back in November 3rd, 2019, when Mari and I first began messaging each other on Discord. I was and she was 22 years old at that time. For the first few days, it went on pretty fine with a growing friendship between us, doing hugs and cuddles messages along the way. But after a little more than a week of talking consistently in DMs, she did this. That one message alone has sparked my feelings for this woman. I guess you can see what direction this is heading towards. Anyways, during that time, I actually asked a friend older than me if it was right to confess my feelings to Mari and get into a relationship with them. They had told me that age doesn't matter in love, but when I asked another friend of mine IRL, they questioned it and said confessing my feelings to her is fishy. I had disagreed with them at the time, but looking back, I wish I didn't. Instead, I took the advice of the former. After weeks of messages consisting of cuddling, hugging, holding hands, and kisses on the cheek, my confession happened on December 1st, 2019. At first, she had rejected me, then on the same day went on questioning why someone would love her, etc. But then the following day, she said that she had feelings for me. Oh, and if you were thinking that there was some sort of age mix-up in this conversation, allow me to disprove that. Her admitting having feelings for and this is her confirming that she is indeed 22 years old. This marks the beginning of our quote-unquote relationship, and is where things start to go south quickly. During the relationship, she also described her sexual dreams about me twice, to which one of them she even said that she got pregnant and we had a kid. The worst part about this is that Mari had acknowledged the fact that what she was saying to me in DMs was very wrong, but yet she continued on with the relationship me even further. All this proves the fact that Mari was indeed me in DMs, and that she had to get reported at some point, to which I did months later in June of this year, after the relationship had ended in early January. When the Discord Trust and Safety team looked at the evidence through the message links, they deemed them damning enough to justify the report and banned not only Mari's main account, but also the 2 alts she had created to bypass her ban. After Mari found out the true reason why she was banned by Discord, she went into contact with people on Reddit via DMs. One of those people that she wanted to talk with was me. At first, I was expecting her to, at the very least, admit that she had me, and what she did was very wrong. Instead, she kept pulling the victim card on me, saying that all she wanted to do was help me and that she actually never loved me. That is the equivalent of saying that she was being me as a joke, and that wasn't even remotely okay to do that. At that point, I had enough of her. I blocked her on Reddit as she showed me that she's just going to continuously victimize herself and never own up to being in the wrong. After all that went down, Mari's mod, which is Emerald Heart, has now been cancelled, and will not get picked up by other people due to the stigma it now holds of being created by The evidence against Mari was overwhelming. Not only did she acknowledge the fact that she had feelings for a minor and push forward into a relationship with them, but she would then start to cry victim and make excuses for her behavior after getting caught. Mari would have someone else post an apology for her in the official Emerald Heart Discord server, although the damage had already been done. She was exiled from the community, and Emerald Heart was permanently banned from the DDMC. And while I would like to say this is the only time something like this has happened, unfortunately Mari and Emerald Heart was just the first of a disturbing pattern that continues to haunt the DDLC community to this day. On December 23rd, 2019, a post was made to the DDMC subreddit titled New Yuri Mod in Development, which, just as the title suggests, would announce the development of a new Yuri-focused mod. While the post itself isn't anything too out of the ordinary, as new mods get announced on the subreddit almost daily, what separated this mod from the others was its concept, as it was something the DDMC hadn't seen before. One unlikely hero, one faithful princess. To start out, Sayori was never your childhood friend. An MC that's on the autism spectrum, albeit high functioning, gets convinced by Sayori to join the literature club, and that's where he meets the other 3 girls. Him and Yuri find out just how similar they are to each other, and they get to know each other more and more as the days pass. Like I mentioned, this type of concept was something fairly new to the DDMC at the time, so having a mod that centered around an MC having autism piqued the interest of many fans, especially those who are on the autism spectrum. The mod titled Our Castle Walls would garner a relatively small following, with its creator MrZeraTheMant posting frequent updates and teasers for the mod over the course of 2020. And on October 31st of that year, Our Castle Walls was officially released and would be met with almost unanimous praise from the community. Many fans would go on to list Our Castle Walls as not only one of the best Yuri-focused mods, but also one of the best DDLC mods of all time, with Zera becoming a well-respected and active member of the community, and Our Castle Walls even gained a sequel just 2 years later. But little did people know at the time that Zera was hiding a disturbing secret, a secret that would eventually devolve into one of the DDMC's biggest and messiest controversies. On December 24, 2023, about 3 years after Our Castle Walls was originally announced, a post by Reddit user Exciting3074, also known as Vixen, made a post to the DDMC subreddit titled My Experience with MrZeraTheMant. The post simply read as throwaway for obvious reasons. I'm finally breaking my silence after the 2 years of hell he put me through. I'm open to any questions. A Google Doc would also be linked alongside the post, exposing Zera as not only a predator but also having a 2-year-long relationship with Vixen, who is his 17-year-old cousin. The abuse took place when he was 28 and I was 17, 2021. We know each other because we are cousins. We started speaking regularly after he approached me at a family gathering and asked me for my Discord. Right before that, I went through a pretty traumatic breakup. I was ramping up into a psychosis episode, so I was not in a great state of mind. I opened up to him about being groomed in the past and how my home life was not great. He took on this role of a savior, and we regularly hanged out with each other. Right off the bat, he spoke openly about his fetishes and past sexual encounters, even saying once, I shouldn't be telling my cousin these things. He knew I was 17. Then he started getting touchy. Goodbye hugs turned into holding my hand when difficult conversations came up. I think things started to get sexual after I came home from a psych ward visit. He picked me up as I couldn't drive, and his parents went on vacation, leaving the house to himself. I told him I was essentially trauma bonded to him and confused if I had feelings for him versus not knowing what familiar relationship is supposed to be like, since I never had a stable familial unit and I'm used to older male figures grooming me. He invited me over when his parents were on vacation, and within an hour of me being there, things got sexual. He initiated it and I felt like I didn't have a choice. He just pulled down my pants and touched me. I then said, since you're sharing, I might as well too, and exposed himself to me. His brother actually came over and he told me we needed to stop and act normal while he was over there, then immediately went back to touching me after he left. Once he was done, he excused himself to the bathroom, leaving me on the couch shaking and having a panic attack essentially. He got very cold afterwards, and while he was taking me home, he said it's probably going to be a one and done situation. It happened multiple times again after that. He brought me gifts and was very affectionate in person, but would instantly go cold after. He would actively be messaging / seeing people on Tinder me. One woman he was seeing even had kids younger than me, but thank God that didn't work out. Things stopped when he began to date a person who literally turned 18 a month previous. He told me that he did what he did because he quote-unquote felt bad for me. I was told explicitly multiple times not to tell anyone what was happening and act normal around our family. He let me into a server and gave me the NSFW role despite me being underage and told me not to tell anyone. DDLC played an active role in the process. He found out I was struggling with self-harm and would praise my scars and kiss them. He self-harmed because of Yuri as well. If I indulged in his interests, which were literally copied from Yuri, so knives, tea, purple hair, etc., he would give me more attention and praise me. I said once to him that I thought he was maybe me. His response was to cry and hug me, begging me not to quote-unquote expose him, because he saw another person in the DDLC community get excommunicated from the community for accusations. He tried to act holier than thou compared to my previous saying he wasn't anything like them while he was me. Around June 2021, I decided to tell my mom what was happening and all contact with him was removed. I lied and told him that the reason we aren't allowed to hang out anymore was due to my mother being upset about him being an LGBT ally. / my mom went through my phone and found out there were sexual relations. I'm tired of living in fear every day and suffering the consequences of his actions. The doc would also provide screenshots of the two's Discord messages from the time as proof, as well as the DDLC YouTuber Savage Central asking Zera if any of the information was true, and Zera alluding that it indeed was. Zera and Our Castle Walls were quickly banned from the DDMC, with Zera's Reddit account being deleted not long after. This revelation would absolutely shock the DDLC community. While this wasn't the first time a mod developer was exposed for being a predator, what separates this from something like the Emerald Heart situation is that Emerald Heart never got the chance to fully release. Sure, it was popular, but it's more known for being created by a predator rather than the actual contents of the mod itself. While Our Castle Walls had been out for a little over 3 years and had gained a cult following, with Zera himself also being a very active member of the DDLC community. The mod and Zera had already established themselves as a major part of the DDMC, so to have such a well-beloved creator be exposed for such behavior was devastating for a lot of people. Outcastle Walls now lives in infamy for being another mod created by a predator, forever having its once praised reputation tainted by Zera's disturbing actions. Fanfiction is one of the most popular forms of fan media across different fandoms, with the same case being for DDLC. While mods are technically a form of fanfiction, not everyone wants to spend time coding an entire fan game, so traditional fanfics posted to sites like fanfiction.net, AO3, and Wattpad are still widely popular within the fandom. But there is one fanfic that's garnered infamy within the community for being completely disgusting and has essentially been wiped clean from the internet. The fanfiction, simply referred to as the Sayo-Nara FanFic, is probably one of the most disgusting and disturbing pieces of DDLC media ever created. As I mentioned, the fanfiction has nearly had all traces of it wiped off the internet, with it only existing via text file on someone's Google Drive. Shout out to the person keeping this shit archived. I would not want this anywhere near my files. The fanfic starts at the end of Act 1, with the MC discovering Sayori's body after she had taken her own life, with the MC expressing his guilt over her death and how he never got the chance to confess to her. Although the story quickly takes a much more disturbing turn as the MC starts to have sex with Sayori's lifeless body, eventually ending with the MC in the game's second act with Monica knowing about what he did to Sayori. If you couldn't tell, this is just somebody with it going into a bit too much detail describing it. I'm gonna read a small excerpt from the fanfiction. I'm obviously not gonna read the full thing because this video would immediately get taken down if I did, but the fanfiction is out there. I would not recommend that you read it for yourself though. While I had some regret in accepting her feelings, there was an even bigger regret of not being able to say yes sooner. Not being able to love her sooner. It was too late. Or perhaps it isn't. No, what am I thinking? This is my childhood friend. I shouldn't have this thought about. But the more I looked at her, the more that thought grew. Whether it was her sad face seemingly scolding me for letting her depression get to a point where she took her life, or whether it was the way her shorts clung onto her waist, outlining what appeared to be while showing off her long legs and dangling feet. I decided to toy with the thought just enough to button her top. She probably would have liked that. I tried to find the origin of where this fanfic comes from because, like I said, it's essentially been nuked off the internet. From what I was able to gather, it was most likely posted sometime in late 2017 or early 2018, either directly to the DDLC subreddit or linked on it, as some of the oldest posts mentioned in it date back to January of 2018, and that's all I was really able to find. Nobody seems to know who wrote it or even where it originated from, it just seemingly appeared one day. Although something I do think is a bit interesting is that the fanfic has been turned into a playable mod, although much like its source material, there is barely any information surrounding it. The only proof that it actually exists is a post that links to a YouTube playthrough of it that has since been deleted, with the archive being unplayable and the mod's files being available on the Internet Archive. Although it doesn't actually run, but you are able to look through the script, and yeah, it's a word-for-word copy of the original fanfic. I guess in a way the Sayori fanfiction is technically lost media. Fuck, we don't need to be searching for this shit. If anyone has any answers as to who may have written the story, where it was posted, or who made the mod, because I don't even know if the original author did make the mod or not. But let me know in the comments, because there is just generally no information about this. It's just a weird phenomenon within the DDLC community. But regardless, it still doesn't make it any less disturbing that someone actually took time out of the day to make this. I hope you all enjoyed this video. I know it's been a while since I last uploaded, but I'm going to try and be more consistent throughout the rest of the year. So if you think I've earned your subscription, then go ahead and subscribe. It's free and you can undo it at any time. If you'd like to see me talk about another controversy within the DDLC community, check out this video I made about DDLC's most hated mod, Amorphi. Otherwise, I'll see y'all in the next video.